This might be a car crash out.
Weird.
Weird. Weird. That is so weird. People are so weird. Like, you're weird.
That's weird.
You're weird.
Talk about weird.
Are we weird?
Talk about weird.
Today was bad. It was good, and it was bad. I did more than I've ever done on log. I pushed press, but when we got to stones, my arm, because all the swelling just gave out, and like, it's so frustrating when everything in you wants to be the best, wants to work the hardest, and your body just decides to not cooperate, and I have no control over it, and I feel helpless, and it's very frustrating. And it's not like a muscle injury or like something that can be rehabbed. It's like my arm feels like a balloon that's gonna pop because of the freaking fluid. I want to be successful, and when I can't do something, instead of being like my body's not cooperating, those thoughts creep in like I'm being lazy, I'm not trying hard enough, but simultaneously I hurt, and it's so frustrating. Not every day in the gym is a good day. Some days are like this and just make you feel like shit. I'm going home feeling terrible about myself. And I really shouldn't, because I had a really great log, but the fact that I couldn't pick up that stone, that my arm gave out, it's living in my head right now, and I don't know how I'm gonna get past that. Today I will, but I'm just sad. So I'm gonna drive home and probably cry and listen to sad music the whole way, and then when I get home, I'm gonna stop letting myself be sad. I'm gonna do something that makes me happy, and I'm gonna move on, because this is just one day at the gym. This is not my whole story. This is just a blip. It's just a blip, and I need to move on.
Oh my, Anna. That's quite the story. That was quite the tale. Apparently nobody else knows gym like Anna knows gym. Gym difficult, gym hard. Sometimes gym good, sometimes gym bad, but today gym hard. Anna cry. Hi, welcome back, or welcome to my channel. I am Wicked. Shit's weird. I don't know what day it is. Where are we? Why is Anna crying again? I'm going to put you down there, buddy, okay? Thanks for the hand. Thank you. All right, everybody. All right. We're back with glitter and lasers, and yes, she's crying again. She's crying. You guys don't understand how difficult stuff is for her, okay? Stuff isn't difficult for you like stuff is for Anna, okay? Now, she had a gym sesh, and the sesh wasn't seshing. It wasn't so great. It was hard. It felt hard. And we know that our girl doesn't like it when things feel hard, okay? So her arm just gave out. Her arm just gave out when she was doing the Atlas stones, okay? She started at 95 pounds. She went up to, I can't remember how many fucking pounds, and then she stopped at 135 because her arm gave out. Her arm gave out. Her arm giveth out. It just said nope. It just dangled there. And, I have a hypothesis that maybe it was because she hit her max. Maybe 40 extra pounds was a little too much for Viking princess lifts. Maybe, okay? But for Anna, no, that's not how it works. A Viking princess that lifts does not hit her weight limit. What? Absolutely not, okay? There is no failure for Viking princess lifts, okay? There's no failure. Failure is not an option. Her arm gave out, okay? It's a medical issue. God, shut your fucking face. Stop judging Anna, okay? Stop judging her. So, we're going to let her go through her explanation, because yes, she did come on with an explanation. We know the cycle. It was very meticulously broken down by Sam at Every Size. Thank you very much, Sam. We appreciate you and the work that you do. You are wonderful. So, let us listen to Anna explain herself. What had happened was... Go ahead, Anna. Take it away.
Today was bad. It was good, and it was bad.
So first, let's talk about why today was good. I got to learn how to do a push press with the log. So here I am practicing just the push part. Then I'm going up and cleaning the log, and now I'm practicing the push to press part over and over to get familiar with the motion. And my coach is actually standing to the side, giving me feedback, so I'm correcting with each push press. Then we did do some sets of clean to push press over and over, and I got to do this in the heaviest weight I've ever done, which is 135 pounds, which is
I hate to interrupt her because I know she's in the middle of something, but I couldn't help but notice that she was struggling a little bit on that left side there. Ooh, that left side that had the pocket of fluid that was making her arm feel like a balloon that was going to burst. What's going on there? What's going on there, Hannah? Anna Banana? What's going on? What is going on with that arm? Are you having trouble there? Could it be that you are maybe almost getting to the max weight capacity for a Viking princess who also lifts? I don't know. Take it away, girl. Take it away.
pretty good weight for someone at my level doing log.
I'm getting stoned for the first time.
I was so excited to do.
Okay, I got to interrupt her again. I'm a rude girl. What can I say? Can't help myself. What is this shot, Anna? What is this angle? Was this necessary? Was this a necessity? Did you have to come at this angle right here? Maybe a side view would have been a little bit more appropriate, but I don't know, I'm a layman. What do I know? What do I know? Okay, take it away, Anna.
Stones for the first time. I've been training for about 2 months and I've never gotten to do these before, so I was kind of pumped. And the first set at around 95 pounds was okay. Like, it didn't feel bad. My body was reacting fairly normally. It didn't even feel that heavy, so I was confident that, like, hey, I'm going to have a good day. However, when we went up to the next weight, which is about 135 pounds, things did not continue to be okay.
What? Why? What was happening? Did you hit your weight limit? Was it too heavy? Was it too heavy, Anna?
I can't do it right now. My arm.
Okay, so I think Anna just hit her weight limit. Excuse me. I thought it was customary or customary. I thought it was normal in like the strong woman world to like go to failure just to see your failure weight and to try to keep topping that. So if you never go to failure, like if you never do a lift that you fail, how do you know how heavy you can lift? Like, isn't that the point of doing a max lift? Wouldn't this just be considered like a max? Like she maxed out? Why is she upset about maxing out? There's nothing wrong with her arm. Her arm didn't give out. She's just not quite strong enough. She added 40 fucking pounds. Like, there's nothing wrong with the functionality of your body. You're just not strong enough to lift 40 extra pounds yet. I don't understand why she's having a problem with this. I thought she was an athlete. I thought she knew what training was. Take it away, girl.
I can't do it right now. My arm.
Oh my God, my arm.
I'm not going to cry, Mommy, but I'm going to cry. In order to distract me, my coach made me pivot and do some leg work. And this was to remind myself that I was still strong, even if my arms today were weak. It did help, but I did still end up crying in my car on the way home because,
Because, I'm a fucking baby. Okay. I've eaten my eye. Now we can talk more about Anna. So, I don't know what the pocket of fluid is. Go to your doctor. I think the surgery was botched I don't think it's normal to have pockets of fluid hanging around your elbows, making your physicality, your movement, your muscles weak. That's a problem. So, has Anna ever had a bad workout? Because I feel like most athletes know what it's like to have a real shitty workout, okay? And I'm going to talk about myself again because I'm a narcissist and I like to talk about me. But the other day I had a really fucking shitty run. It was like the worst run of my fucking life and I wanted to die, okay? We'll be as dramatic as Anna. We'll bring it to her level. Did I cry? Fucking no, because I'm not a baby. But I didn't like it, okay? I walked a lot of it. It fucking sucked. I cut it short and I went home. And did I cry? No, I didn't. I was happy I got out there. I recognized that it sucked. I realized I did not take my mental health meds and that was a problem. So I took care of myself when I got home. I took a little nappy poo, and then the next day I did something super fun, went out with my bestie, had a great day, forgot about that stupid ass fucking workout, because you know why? There's going to be so many more workouts. There's going to be great ones. There's going to be shitty ones. And like, I don't care about that one bad workout. Like, get over it. So that was a question that I wrote down. Has Anna ever had a bad workout? And there's another thing too, that I think a lot of women, I myself was just, I mean, it's like we're always aware of it, but I don't think we are taught how it actually affects us. Like, yes, women have a cycle. Oh my God. Oh, clutch pearls. We're going to talk about periods and cycles. Women have cycles. I got this sweet little book called Roar by Dr. Stacy Sims. And in this book, she breaks down how your, I just dropped my own book. She breaks down how your cycle and your hormonal fluctuations can affect your workout. So I just want to read this little section to you. Gather round, children, come to class. Periods and performance. Mastering your cycle. What does this mean for your performance? I'd like to start with a fact that surprises many women. You can stop worrying about having your period on event day. She says race day. We're going to say event day. Everyone worries about having their period for a big event, but in reality, your hormones are favorable for performance once your period starts. Once you start bleeding. Remember, we're not going to read that little excerpt. It makes sense if you think about it. Once you're in the clear of the possibility of pregnancy, the body goes into a more relaxed mode, and all those energy systems used in the high hormone phase are at your disposal for exertion. Same goes for the low hormone phase that follows your period. As ironic as it may seem, your exercise physiology is most like a man's during your period in the days that follow. So she explains prior to this that basically your period is set up into two different portions of your cycle. There is the portion where, you start bleeding and you shed your uterine lining, and then the few days after that where you're at your low hormone phase and your testosterone is higher, and that kind of correlates to the excerpt we just read. That's where, your physiology, your exercise physiology is more like a man's. So a lot of women will find that they PR during that time frame. And then the next 2 weeks is considered your high hormone phase. This is where your progesterone and estrogen levels start raising. And she talks about some of the things that can be affected during that time period. Many women find that my husband's listening to a loud movie. Their muscular coordination and manual dexterity suffer. Also their I thought she said something about mental stuff. She also says that there can be effect in your blood sugar levels, your breathing rates, and your thermoregulation during this time of the month. It's harder to make muscle during this time of the month. Your metabolism and your cravings change. You can be bloated. And then heat feels hotter during these 2 weeks of a woman's phase. So a lot of women find themselves just overheating during exercise, and it's because progesterone elevates your core temperature, so you'll feel hotter to begin with. On top of that, lower blood volume during high hormone days means it's harder for your body to sweat and cool itself. Progesterone also makes you shed more sodium, which increases your risk of heat stress as well as hyponatremia during endurance events such as running a marathon in the heat. So during this high hormone phase, you know, the 2 weeks leading up to your period, you can overheat more. You have to pay more attention to your hydration, your heat regulation. And so Anna was talking about feeling really hot, swelling, retaining water, you know, the bloating and stuff. So when I was watching her cry about this, it really did make me think, is she even aware about, you know, obviously women are aware that we have cycles, but when I first got this book and read it, I was almost angry that, like, this isn't just a normal thing that women are taught, you know, the actual hormonal changes and how they affect our body and how they might affect how we feel during athletics or performance. It was eye-opening. So now when I'm running and going through my own training, I'm very aware of where I am in my cycle and how that is going to affect me. And so things like having a really bad workout like I did the other day, having a really bad run, it was just like, whatever, dude, you know. And then also like your mood and stuff might change too. So it's like you might have had physically a same workout, but mentally maybe it just felt harder. And then she also talks about how in this high hormone phase, your perceived effort can be a lot harder too because of all these things kind of compiling. So you might run the same mile time, your heart rate might be the same, you know, you might be performing in a similar way, but in your mind it feels harder. It might feel like a harder effort, you know, during this time. And so you kind of have to keep that in mind too, and kind of keep yourself in check that, like, no, you don't suddenly suck. You didn't suddenly wake up and lose 50% of your athletic effort or physicality, but you probably you feel like you did, you know. So there's that. And this is just something that, you know, I think maybe she's just going through like the normal fluctuations of having a female body or just a body, because I do believe men go through fluctuations too. It's just different than the female, you know, cycle. So I just wanted to share this book. Again, it's Roar by Dr. Stacy Sims. She's a PhD, and it's how to match your food, fitness, and your female physiology for optimum performance, great health, and a strong, lean body for life. Because her philosophy is women are not small men, so we should know our bodies and work with them as far as athletics. So I like that. That's the second chapter, Demystifying Your Cycle. Anyway, I think that Anna is totally missing the fact that women have cycles and phases, and every time you hit the gym, you're going to feel a little different. And she could have just been, you know, kind of in a high hormone phase and like maybe feeling weaker. Maybe her perceived effort was higher. Maybe her thermoregulation was off. Maybe she was feeling hotter and therefore retaining a little bit more water. So yeah, if you are a female athlete, you really do have to think about your entire monthly cycle, where you are in your cycle. And if you have a really shitty workout, like, think about it. Where are you in your cycle? Are you like, you know, just about to start your period and maybe your perceived effort is super high and your thermoregulation sucks, so you're like, you feel hot, you feel tired, you feel like you're working harder, you know, for the same effort, because that can kind of fuck with you mentally. And if you lose the mental game, it's really hard to continue pushing your body. So I just wanted to point that out. So yes, I took two 1 minute and 30-second videos and probably talked for way too long, but that was just what this video made me think of. You know, it's absolutely ridiculous. She can do whatever the fuck she wants, you know. This is beautiful milk, silky milk, fresh, creamy, sweet. Give us that fresh, creamy milk, Anna. Lube us with your tears. We love it. But yeah, It's absolutely ridiculous to film yourself crying after a bad workout and act like it's the end of the world. She acts like she tore her bicep muscle and can't work out again. You know, it's like you had a bad workout. That's going to happen over and over and over. And getting over it is the only way through. This is the way, Anna. Fucking get over it, okay? Thank you guys so much for listening to me bitch and complain, because it's my favorite thing to do and it makes me feel like a better person. And I will come back and bitch and complain some more when there's more to bitch and complain about. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for joining me. And again, I don't know if I said it already, but I know I made a post, but I just want to say it out loud that I really appreciate hitting 1,010 subscribers. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for spending time with me. You could watch lots of other videos and you watched mine. So I appreciate you. If you got all the way to the end, put a bat emoji, and I will see you later. Bye.
Nobody's perfect.